Do do. Oh, hello and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic, lovely dinosaur action. Mythic, Chomping, Mythic opponents, always trying to at least a wide range. Yeah, it's going to be good. Hypercord with the Forest Cycling Dinosaur Nurturing Bristleback. There is some reasons why I've brought it back, and we'll see how it goes. But for a couple matches, the two most recent ones that I did before I started here on my phone, flooding, all kinds of flooding, so many lands. It is a little bit painful to feel that, because this list, which is always in the description, only 20. It's hard to stomach a little bit, but there isn't a 0% chance. There is always the possibility of those unfortunate, uncommon scenarios happening multiple times in a row, not just one. So it's like everybody experiences those odd fringe scenarios, so you can just power through it, move on to the next game. Sometimes there may be nothing you can do. However, there is something you can do against all the small stuff. One of the best sweepers, at least for me, all the small things that hurt me, now I hurt them with Culling Ritual. Pretty straightforward. For 2, a black and a green, destroy. Oh, to 6 concurrent viewers. My goodness, maybe tonight I'm gonna break my all-time record. But yeah, Culling Ritual. 2, a black and a green, destroy each non-land permanent with a mana value 2 or less. It's not permanents with a mana value of 2. It's literally everything. Tokens have a mana value of 0. Those still go away. So the Insidious Roots deck that brought me pain twice in a row, 2 matches in a row, extra wacky. Now we likely win. There's almost no chance that deck has against this. And I want a sweeper. I want to be good against everything small. Game 1, all of the small stuff goes away. It doesn't really get much more simple than that. But how do I get the sources of black? You guys might be thinking, isn't that a little bit rough? I certainly could lean into that to get the source of black that I need for Culling Ritual. A little bit easier. However, it's not much of a problem. Overgrown Tomb, that gets me my source, and it is a forest for Castle Garenbrig, as it always is with Stampede Dinos. My favorite way to play them, focusing on Sunken, choosing green usually as the first one. It taps for 2 green. That 2 green goes towards lands, activated abilities, which goes to Castle Garenbrig, supercharging and making a boatload of mana with only a few out. Lovely stuff. But Castle Garenbrig needs forests, or land with the forest type, so this meets that requirement, gets me my source of black. Also Ziatora's Proving Ground as well. Victor, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you, and anybody that is, well, right now, later on, hopefully it's going good. We had a good Monday. Well, Mondays are never fun, but I did refresh a classic clip, made it tidier a bit.
Ruthless aggression.
I think I timed it a little bit better with the slap. I kind of made the clip transition off of the side, and I think I found a better quality resolution one. I might make it kind of transparent like the other one was, but there we go. It might be a little bit too loud as well, but it's always nice to refresh a good classic. But I'm getting sidetracked. Yes, black. Okay, Overgrown Tomb, Ziatora's Proving Ground. That's a total of 5 actual sources. Sunken Citadel, keep in mind, I can choose black if the other lands I have are sources of green. That's still okay. This gets me potentially my source of black for Culling Ritual, or it makes 2 black, and that 2 black from 1 land can go towards Castle Garenbrig's ability of 2 of any color and 2 green. So we still could be on track if we early need that source. But Hypercord, like you're saying, Nurturing Bristleback, the Forest Cycling Dinosaur. Forest Cycling, what does that do? you can discard it to search your library for a forest card, not a basic forest, which is very, very interesting, quite powerful. So I discard this to search for what? Overgrown Tomb. Boom. All of a sudden, Nurturing Bristleback can grab Overgrown Tomb or Ziatora's Proving Ground to get it. Sylvan Scrying could grab an Overgrown Tomb. Pretty reasonable. Archdruid's Charm could dig and put maybe a Sunken Citadel out, maybe the second one or the first one, and I choose black for that Sunken as it enters. It's very good. I could tweak it a little bit more, but Culling Ritual, the earliest I'm going to need it is turn 4. That's enough turns to, I think, comfortably get me that single source of black and smoke all the small stuff. It's boom, boom.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
That's actually pretty, that's a fantastic clip for the Insidious Roots deck, because they're all about sacrificing creatures, bringing them back from the graveyard, and, well, I know how much you've sacrificed, and now you lose. That's what it's all about. Otherwise, everything is the same, making a stable amount of big mana with lands, playing the big stuff. Lovely, lovely Vaultborn Tyrant, but we'll see how much I get flooded. I may not like Nurturing Bristleback. I might want card draw, potentially something cheaper, a Planeswalker, maybe back to Kiora. We'll see, we'll keep it in mind. But Leyline of Sanctity, as always, anoint with Affliction. That's for Amalia. Oh, okay, now she's exiled, gone forever. Pretty straightforward. That deck just doesn't do their thing. Of course they could, gain a bunch of life and whittle me down with their big creatures, or, well, their swarm of creatures, I should say. But that's good. Exile, boom, gone forever, instant speed. That's what I love. Culling Ritual could help against Amalia. Maybe they have Amalia plus a little creature that gains life. They're looking for the Wild Growth Walker. I cast this. Chances are that's going to incentivize them to go off with the combo, make Amalia massive, gain all the life, and still lose everything. Boom, it's all destroyed, but they want to at least gain a bunch of life, pad their life total, and hopefully survive. But at least everything is gone in that case. Or if they can't start the combo, boom, all the small stuff is gone, and they may have a hard time recovering. We'll see. We'll see. Reasonably, I could make enough green that I'd have enough left over for Castle Garenbrig. It actually happened against Gruul Slickshot. Aggro, very fast stuff. I destroyed 4 things on their side, and I had 5 lands. The 5th land I didn't tap was Castle Garenbrig. So I spent 4 mana, I made 4 green, Castle Garenbrig was untapped. That 4 green went into its ability to make 6. But then I cast Carnage Tyrant. That is pretty sweet. Going Culling Ritual and Carnage Tyrant in the same turn. Decent. Yeah.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
I certainly am, or would have been, in a pickle if I hadn't cast Culling Ritual. Oh, yeah, well, could be a little bit better. This likely is a slick shot deck. I think for the most part, Ghalta the Wellspring as a companion at the moment usually indicates that. But if it is a slick shot type deck, I do like seeing Culling Ritual. But no Sylvan Scrying, no Archdruid's Charm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, Victor. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, join the Discord. Link is in the description. Victor posted a lovely, pretty cool AI created. I think we got to get you know what, I'll keep a Regisaur. Send one Nurturing. This goes to the flooding part of it. If I sent both Regisaurs, watch me draw a bunch of lands, I'd be kick. Oh, okay. We got a Zorius or Izzet Ensoul artifact. Yeah, but that AI music was pretty cool. Hopefully we can get the job done. Definitely go off with Sylvan Scrying. Grab that Castle Garenbrig and hope for the best. Whew. Yeah, I'll need the luck. Solar Updraft, or maybe my opponents we'll need the luck with Culling Ritual. Okay. Yeah, it's not just always dinosaurs in the Discord. Usually it is, but okay, it's well, it's a little rough. But this could be deadly. Oh, look. What was I saying? Nurturing Bristleback to get the Overgrown Tomb. If the opponent has it and killed me next turn, maybe we can do some sneaky stuff. I don't imagine they can deal 14. But, yeah, join the Discord if you haven't. It's a good time. Memes and good chats and, oh boy. Play another Ensoul art. Okay, that's not bad. Oh boy. Making use of... And watch this. Watch this. I want to go Archdruids, which I'm also able to go. It's pretty sweet. Tons of mana. That's what it's all about. Dead. Done. See you later. I could even just straight up play Carnage Tyrant, which is absolutely nuts. Oh, surprise. Boom. There you go. Question becomes, do I want to... Yeah, I want to. We're grabbing Sunken Citadel, and then I'm playing any creature I draw from now on. Can't be countered as well. It's a good thing to start with. It doesn't really hurt my game plan, does it? There you go. Okay, I got stuff. I can block it. Don't worry. Palani's Hatcher, 3 blockers in 1. Cross your fingers. They don't have the... Well, they're going to sacrifice an artifact, deal 5 damage right to my face. Shrapnel Blast. I think it is. Pretty sure. Shrapnel Blast to the face. Oh. Sacrificing Darksteel Citadel. Hopefully it's not. Cross your fingers. Shrapnel Blast. Oh my goodness. Have I ever played against Izzet Ensoul Artifact before? I don't know. Whew. Anoint with Affliction is quite deadly. What can't you do against a creature that is indestructible, like Darksteel Citadel? It's an artifact land. They make it a 5/5. It's not fun. Usually you can't get rid of it. But when it's made a creature, you are able to exile it with Anoint with Affliction. I also kind of want to keep Culling Ritual as well. You know what? We're trimming Nurturing Bristleback. Maybe. Nah. Carnage Tyrant. Carnage Tyrant. Anointed with Affliction it is. Okay. Whew. Strap yourselves in. Yes, JDX. Early. Early.
Yes.
That's probably what you were saying, yeah. The world's upside down. I'm not upside down. Ooh, but this opponent might be upside down. Their head might be spinning, because that looks like a stunning, absolutely stunning hand. You could, but absolutely. I've done Bolt Bend before. Victor, you might have been around with that absolutely amazing and deadly win I had against Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, where I cast the Bolt Bend. They went -3 or whatever. I finished them off with Bolt Bend. Lovely. Reverse the Shrapnel Blast. Huh. Bolt Bend would be a little bit easier to cast, only needing a single red, where Leyline of Sanctity would help, but for the most part it wouldn't. If it's the only thing, the only reason it's in would be to pretty much protect against Shrapnel Blast, but morph gimmicks. Oh, you lost to a morph. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Not the end of the world. Nurturing Bristleback, grabbing our forest type land. Certainly Yeah, it's going to be a forest. We have our source of black with that Sunken Citadel, so I can exile somebody. We'll wait and see if they cast Ensoul artifact on one of those artifacts, and we'll get rid of it, saving ourselves from taking the most potential damage. Yeah. Hopefully Savine, the Chronoclasm, that is still doing pretty good. I just like that name, Chronoclasm. Wait and see what the counter is put on. Likely Inti is going to put that 1/1 counter onto the... Well, maybe they'll spread it out. We'll see. Okay. It's alright. Not the end of the world. Don't know why they say oops. Okay, okay. For next turn, I want a bunch of bodies with Palani's Hatcher. That's where we're headed. Yeah, I don't know why the opponent says oops. Or they just have Shrapnel Blast and they know they've got the job done. Shrapnel Blast. Double Shrapnel Blast, maybe. Okay. It is something. I could get Culling Ritual next turn, which would absolutely wreck the opponent. Probably make enough mana to also cast Tyrranax Rex after I take everything out. I'd like that. It would be good, Victor, if I can find out whatever is the best way against aggro. It would be nice, I must admit. If I shore that up, we'd be in a much better position. But sometimes you don't win. If I had drawn Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, that opponent would have been dead. No question about it. I was able to make 8 mana with the Sunken Citadels and the castle, and you get the idea. A reasonable chance I could have drawn Ghalta by this point in the game, almost a quarter of the way through the deck, and that's how she goes, like the Trailer Park Boys. For anybody that watches that, I want to make some clips from it. There's so many shows and movies and all kinds of stuff. I should set aside a day where it's like making clips. Ooh. There can't be a whole lot better than Culling Ritual, I have to think. It makes something a little bit faster, but Culling Ritual only needs the one source of black. Sweepers that require red, oftentimes they require 2 red, and that would just change things completely. It really messes up the mana. I would have to trim black. I go for Stomping Ground, a couple Karplusan Forest, something like that. Maybe have to trim the 1 Cavern of Souls and go down to 1. I do have 2 caverns, but needing 2 red early, sometimes by turn 3, for Brotherhood's End or Anger of the Gods, and sometimes 3 damage to each creature just doesn't even do it. Yeah. Tail Swipe is a very reasonable possibility. I have heard Mono Green Devotion players are starting to use it to help out a little bit against Amalia. But his hand looks quite fantastic. A reasonable chance that we draw Sylvan Scrying to grab Sunken. We get Archdruid's Charm, which grabs Sunken and puts it on the battlefield, or we just draw Sunken. 1 of 12 things. That's good. It's very good. Or Nurturing Bristleback to Forest Cycle to get the Overgrown Tomb. We're going to be getting our source of black. I hope. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. Oh, it's so nice for Ensoul artifact. So, okay. What do we got? Yorion, Doom Foretold. Perhaps enchantments that have enter the battlefield affects Yorion, bouncing those, redoing the painful stuff. A blocker with high toughness oftentimes would do the trick. The Pugnacious Hammer Skull, the new-ish dinosaur. Well, 3 for a 6/6. That scares away the Ensoul artifact. Yeah. Does the trick. Does the trick. Alright. Ooh. Mono black vampires, perhaps. Okay, no more creatures. Let's get that Sunken. Or Nurturing. Or Sylvan Scrying or Archdruid's Charm. Any number of those things I'd be pretty happy with. Oh, feels okay. Mono black, mid-range, something. I did lose to a mono black type deck previously, when I was playing this evening. Things just didn't quite line up. But at least I got that Source of Black. I'm potentially able to make 6. Ooh, that's a lot of tokens. Culling Ritual would get me 4 green at the moment. That'd be alright. Take out a bunch of stuff. Let's go. Castle Garenbrig is left behind. This is what I'm talking about. I hope. Oh, we'll see. Hopefully they don't have... No, never mind. Okay, we're not playing Carnage Tyrant. But yeah. Could have counted the page counters on Maze Mind's tomb. They were able to put the final one on. It sacrificed itself, and then I only made 3 green because 3 of those vampire tokens were taken out. Alright. That does about do it. I'm going to go with Palani's Hatcher. Multiple bodies, that might just buy enough time. And Palani's Hatcher could trade potentially with Shieldred. I'm almost certain, guaranteed, that stuff is going to die, or everything. Probably. Pretty much guaranteed to have removal. Okay, okay. Ooh, that's a lot of life. But yeah, I think a blocker with just high toughness would be lovely. A creature with a mana value of 3. It's not destroyed by Culling Ritual. Sunken Citadel, of course, too little, too late. Yeah. Yeah. Not like us, yes. Yes, this opponent is not like me. The Kendrick Lamar, yeah. Oh, I watched that. It sung it 5 times or 6 times. I guess he played the intro or the outro. It's pretty catchy. Pretty catchy, I must admit. However, Culling Ritual not doing a whole lot. That's alright. Leyline of Sanctity. Even though I think this is... Well, Leyline of Sanctity helps against... whatchamacallit? The Vein Ripper. Its ability whenever a creature dies targets us. So it just doesn't happen. It's probably... It's a long history, I bet. I think there could be a balance, Victor. Absolutely. I'm just glad there was, well, seemingly so much pretty good stuff to come out of a rap battle. Sometimes it's not always, top notch, but it certainly seemed like this case was some pretty good stuff, at least from Kendrick. I think we should be good. Pretty much the best hand we could hope for. We're going to make 7 on turn 4, and they might just scoop right then and there. Oh, did you have a Thoughtseize, buddy? Oh, so many good lines. crazy though, some of this stuff. I must admit, I do like watching reaction videos of some of the songs, and Vaultborn Tyrant, yeah, opponent's dead. They're not coming back from this. They've lost. Good luck. What you gonna do? This looks like a horror for the opponents. Well, exiling it is a little bit rough. Okay. Well, I guess they got fortunate with a spell that exiles all the Vaultborn Tyrants, but they're still mostly dead. I don't know why they attacked with Preacher of the Schism. That was actually quite silly, but what can you do? No more lands. Just don't do it. I hope. I imagine they have another sweeper. Hopefully not. Or just removal. I know, it is pretty good. That's all you need. Guess they don't have a sweeper. Okay, I'll sacrifice Regisaur Alpha. They probably have removal for the other one I don't sacrifice. Oh, no. Did you have a bunch of Thought Seizes and maybe go blank and invoke Despair in your hand? Or blot out? All of those are dead cards because they target me. Now they don't. Yeah, I know. Good game, easy. Just like Kendrick Lamar mopping the floor with Drake, the basketball player. Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, Drake was on Degrassi, the Next Generation Canadian show. I watched it when I was a kid, and he started from the bottom. Now he's here, and he's not doing so well. He started from the bottom, and perhaps he's kind of, hitting rock bottom or something. Don't like that. No Leyline of Sanctity. It is Leyline. Well, I got a good feeling about this. I do. I like the Leyline. Get a second land, any second land. Nurturing gets me the third. I hope. On the draw, 2 chances to see the second one. I'll take it. I don't want to mulligan too much and not see Leyline of Sanctity in the future mulliganing hands. Yeah. Ooh, back-to-back Archdruid's Charms. That's no fun. Where's that second land when you need it? Still nowhere. Yeah, we'll make a green. Sadly, I don't have any instant that I can cast for 2. Would be pretty cool, though. Land. Let's go. Yeah, let's get rid of Palani's Hatcher. Ooh. Oh, okay. Okie dokie. Not really a good game, no. Yeah, they are pretty decently great. Dastardly great. Oh, well. Oh, we got Roberto Noriega on Insidious Roots, I believe. I believe Roberto's on Insidious Roots. Okay. The odds were not in my favor the previous match, but they hopefully are this one with Culling Ritual. I like that hand. 3 lands. Sylvan to grab a part of the pieces, the mixture, and all that stuff. Seems like Roberto has had a bit of a tough run, going down to 86%. Me, of course, down to 89 right now. Well, okay. We know the drill with Roberto. That's all right. We got something. Now, knowing that Roberto is on this... Oh, do they have a Thoughtseize? Oh, don't do it. Okay, good. But knowing Roberto was likely on this particular deck, I could have perhaps mulliganed for that Culling Ritual. Bit of a different hand, possibly. Yeah. I won't go with the Overgrown Tomb if I don't have Culling Ritual. Maybe sometime down the line I can have Overgrown Tomb enter the battlefield untapped. But we got it coming up sometime. That's okay. We're packing heat. Maybe I have to pack more heat than just for Culling Rituals. Right. Nurturing Bristleback. Definitely I see ourselves needing that other land. Yeah, I'll go with the forest. Well, it could have happened where it was painful if I had grabbed Ziatora's Proving Ground, even though I would like a source of red for Palani's Hatcher. There could be a couple scenarios where I would prefer a land that enters the battlefield untapped. I could draw Sunken Citadel next turn, which I'm definitely going. The turn after that would be Castle Garenbrig, and yeah, let's go. Culling Ritual. Smoke them. Eventually. One of these days here. Put me to sleep. My goodness. That's all right. Sadly, they do fill their graveyard and... Oh, taking us down to 10 already. Yikes. Another priest. Huh. Oh, well, look what I said. We got it. Good stuff. Too little, too late. I imagine it is going to be too little, too late with the damage from the creatures. Priest of Forgotten Gods, both of them. Sacrificing both of those. We're going to lose a total of 4 from the priests. 3. But maybe we get Culling Ritual. Perhaps. You never know. There is 4. Oh boy. Then they sacrifice the Forsaken Miners and they have 2 black and they get them back. Maybe I need Weathered Runestone. Or just something that exiles a graveyard at instant speed. It's been a long time since I've cared about decks with graveyards. That's for sure. It's not fun. Izzet Phoenix is not too much of a problem for me, so that's why I cut Graveyard Hate, because there isn't anything super popular until this seems to have had a little bit of a resurgence. Okay, that's not quite going to do it, and well, we know what we're mulliganing for. But you never know. This opponent could have not been playing that. They might have been switching up what they're doing. That was not the case. Yeah, I'm going to trim Palani's Hatcher. I think we got enough bodies. Leyline, it can't target us, which is really what I'm looking for. If we see Leyline, it's good. Plus the Culling Ritual, take all the stuff out. Pack and Superheat. Priest of Forgotten Gods cannot target us with its ability, which is lovely stuff, although that hand is lovely and we got to keep it. Pretty much perfect. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It has been a little bit painful, a couple matches tonight, but we'll turn it around eventually. We'll get there. Wherever that is. Dinos just keep on trucking. I just hope this opponent doesn't have the thought seizes, but I was thinking about it the past 2 nights since I've faced Roberto and these decks. I don't think they have thought seizes. They focus on having tons of creatures and they have lovely hand hates. It really does get the job done. They don't need too much hand hate with all the creatures and the life drain and yeah. Okay, let's get that Culling Ritual. Oh, there we go, folks. We got it. Okay, play some more creatures. Let's go. Archdruid's Charm, I do plan to cast on turn 4 because I think I'm going to destroy, hopefully 3 things. Make 3 green. That would be quite nice indeed. Cross your fingers they use Priest of Forgotten Gods. No, but hopefully they don't. It's alright. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Play 3 creatures. Do it. You know you want it. Alright, not too bad. Play another one. Do it. Oh, they did it, folks. They goofed up big time. Super duper big time. See you later. Poof. Done. You lose. You're not coming back from that. You're just not. Good luck. That's why I brought it in. 7 next turn, but I will get to make 8. Come on. Let's go. Tyvar could be a little bit rough, but should be alright. Oh, well. That certainly is something. But you know what? We're going to be taking out Tyvar Jubilant Brawler. They're tapped out. Tyvar is going to take that one because that dinosaur token has trample. Dead. Good. Come on. Just quit.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
You have no power here.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Revenge against Roberto Noriega. Ooh. You lose. Play some more creatures. Watch me sweep them. Yeah. I love it. Oh, Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Oh, gee. What is the mana value of Agatha's Soul Cauldron? 2. There you go. I love it. Come on, let's draw a creature. Some big creature for a change. Scavenging Ooze would go to 4 power. They have 2 green. Regisaur Alpha is not going to block. I want everybody to have haste and I want to devastate this opponent. That's alright. I'm wise to your ways. I've faced Scavenging Ooze before. Eventually, once they decide what they want to do. Yeah, that's alright. Ooh, hit me for 4. Oh man, good stuff. Still no big. This should do the trick. 15, 21. Now we should be safe, I think. Gotta be safe. 5. 5, 6. Yeah, pretty sure we're safe. I don't think the Scavenging Ooze can get big enough. Stitcher Supplier is going to block. They will survive, unfortunately, but it is a decent chunk. Oh, it's lethal. Okay. I thought they were left with 1 or 2. My math is a little bit off, but Roberto, gone. Done. We have to do it again, though. Leyline, we'll trim Leyline. We'll bring in Tranquil Frillback. And then they can't get anything back from their graveyard. Really, that is going to be quite fantastic. Should be pretty good. I don't have to feel bad keeping a hand without Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, oh, with Cauldron. I don't know. I don't think it's any mana for Cauldron. I'm pretty sure it just taps. Scavenging Ooze could have gained a life, but they were tapped out because they only had the Stitcher Supplier. Oh. Huh. At least I got him with Culling Ritual. I didn't even need the second one, but, well, it's staying in. Especially if I do face this Roberto Noriega opponent. Maybe it's going to be a nightly thing. This opponent is playing at a similar time as me, and yeah. I should go look up Agatha's Soul Cauldron, though, Solar Updraft. It is a pretty fantastic card. Some people might be surprised at how expensive it is, whether that is for commander purposes and whatnot, but yeah. If it is expensive, perhaps I should take a look at it myself, maybe. Although a lot of my creatures, they don't have activated abilities. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe Roberto is mad that I finally gave him his own medicine, a taste of his own medicine. I feel so helpless. Wow, now you're going to feel so helpless with
Ruthless aggression.
No. Hurt him so hard, went AFK. Okay, that looks pretty decent. Reasonable to me. Drawing a Sunken, drawing a Sylvan, drawing an Archdruid to get Sunken. Nurturing to get the 4th land. Nurturing to get my source of black for the hopeful Culling Ritual. A wide range of things have a reasonable chance of happening. And 3 lands, 2 of them being Castle Garenbrig, very nice. If the opponent has Field of Ruin or Demolition Field. But don't think I'm going to just keep doing the same thing. If I face something that is painful, and if I face the same opponent that is painful, and a wide variety of other aggressive decks, don't just think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something that is going to eviscerate you. That's going to help me in the painful matchups and make them not so painful. Painful for the opponents, because everything is gone. Good. Oh, okay. Took down my arch nemesis, Roberto Noriega. Maybe I'm going to face him back to back. That has happened before. Like I mentioned the last stream, where it's not super populated. Depending on the time of day you play, it might take up to a minute and a half to find an opponent, and sometimes the person you beat or you lost against, you're paired up with them. I think the game tries to not do that if at all possible, but if you both finish the match and you re-enter at the same time, there could be a reasonable possibility that it happens. It's kind of neat, in a way. Hopefully it wasn't a painful matchup, but you never know. Okay, Roberto. It's going past 30 seconds. I could see this taking a bit. The algorithm thinks, hey, that dinosaur deck was not supposed to beat Golgari Insidious Roots graveyard shenanigans. And now they don't know what to think. They're like, hey, man, that's not right. This dinosaur deck brought in a sweeper. How am I ever supposed to evaluate it and give them a reasonable opponent? Of course, that's not how it works. This is best of 3 ranked. I'm quite certain nothing happens behind the scenes. Best of 1 is a little bit different, but Nina loves fun. I feel like I've faced this person before. Her name sounds familiar. That's a keep. That's a keep. No question about it. Even though it's 2 lands, it's 2 of the lands that I want. Either I get Nurturing, another land, Sylvan Scrying to get the 3rd for the Archdruids. That, no, I don't even have to think about it. Absolutely. Oh. Okay, well, could be painful. We have to choose green. We have to maintain the first 3 lands being green for Archdruid's Charm, just in case. I'd be kicking myself if, well, I get another land. I could have played Archdruids on turn 3, and because I chose black for Sunken, for the Culling Ritual that I just drew, it wouldn't feel good. But this could. It's worth a shot. All right. At least they weren't too aggressive. They haven't played the second land and went with Ensoul Artifact. They might be okay. Well, they're not mana screwed. That's okay. At the very least, they don't have Ensoul Artifact. They would have 100% had Steam Vents enter. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got it, folks. We got it. Done. They're dead. Smoked. No chance. The first Sunken was green. The second Sunken, to get my source of black, but also make 2 more mana for Castle. Perfect. Lovely. I can make 7 next turn, or I can sweep everything the opponent has. This is what it's all about. I sweep everything they have, make enough green to play Archdruids, so I've destroyed everything, and I've done this. How amazing is that? Perfect. I love it. Possibly, I could not have 3 green. Say I have 2 lands that make black and 2 green. Couldn't go Archdruids, but with the amount that Culling Ritual destroys, it makes the 3 green, which I normally wasn't able to, and then all of a sudden I'm able to cast it. But now I think they might quit once I do what I'm about to do. Like look at this. I could go Archdruids, or I could go Culling Ritual and Archdruids. It's a no-brainer. Absolutely. Done. And you know what I'm going to grab? Cavern of Souls. We're going to protect every single dinosaur that I play from now on. I could go a little bit more black. Definitely sweepers. There is such a wide range of sweepers, Victor, from Sphere of Annihilation. Is maybe after this match we do a little bit of a tangent and yeah, Sylvan Scrying. Then we go Castle Garenbrig just in case we play it. And because they're tapped out, we have an opening to grab Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant. We're going for it, folks. We're going for it. The possibility of killing the opponent next turn. Oh, black has amazing spot removal. I like Anoint with Affliction. Of course, it is a common. Might not be the flashiest, crazy thing. Oh, I see what this person is doing. Oh, okay. This is very interesting stuff. We gotta talk. Let me see your graveyard. Hold on okay, 1 second. So it's a Tree of Perdition, Agatha's Soul Cauldron deck, where Agatha's Soul Cauldron exiles Tree of Perdition, puts a counter on a creature. That creature gains the ability of Tree to tap and exchange an opponent's life total with tree's life total, but the creature that has this ability does not have 13 toughness. It oftentimes has 2, and then it gets the ability to sacrifice itself, and well, we'll go. Yeah.
You won! You did it!
Oh shucks, you lost. Darn. Ruthless, absolutely ruthless. I love it. Attack with the eggs, the dinosaur eggs, and send the message that I'm not to be messed with. It does seem a little bit slow, Victor. Combining these two sort of decks, it just seems like it would be maybe better to focus on the Izzet aggro angle, but again, Voldaren Thrillseeker, when it enters backup, and it also just has the ability where it can sacrifice itself, or the creature that it backs up by putting a counter on gains that ability. But they have a counter, and with Agatha's Soul Cauldron, each creature with a counter on it gains the abilities of cards that it's exiled, so every creature with that counter could do Tree of Perdition's combo and possibly sacrifice itself, make me have 3, and then they sack and we're dead. But you know what stops that? And Shrapnel Blast. I wouldn't normally bring in Leyline of Sanctity with Shrapnel Blast, but I think I want to do it. We're doing it. Big time. It's go time. The Carnage Tyrant. Yeah. If it was just regular Izzet and Ensoul, I'd probably go with Anoint with Affliction to exile the potential indestructible. Okay, well. And again, this is a little bit unfortunate. Absolutely no question about it. A keep. We have 4 lands. We have 1 source of black, and we have the Culling Ritual. So I didn't bring Leyline of Sanctity in for nothing. They could still do their combo with Tree to make me go to 3 or 2 or whatever life, and well, we might be done for, but it might be good. Whenever we go with Culling, cross your fingers. Imagine they'll sacrifice one of those map tokens. Oh, interesting. Maybe not. Okay. It's looking good. They got to be at least a little bit scared, I would think. Oh boy, they see the sources of black. Could be 5 mana. Oh, okay. That's something. At the moment, 5 mana is pretty good. Oh my goodness. Maybe I make 6. Maybe I draw Carnage Tyrant next turn. I go with Culling, but I destroy so many things that I make 6 green. I've done that before. It's pretty crazy. I've made 8 green mana before, and I've cast Ghalta Stampede Tyrant in the past when I've used Culling Ritual. Nuts. It's still okay to taking out 3 things. If I get Archdruid's Charm, I can also cast that. It's pretty good. Oh, that's not Archdruid's. Yeah. Use it. Don't use it. Nah. Save ourselves from taking 5, 6, maybe 7 damage. Get rid of a bunch of stuff and buy a bit of time. We're going to play Regisaur Alpha next turn though, so that's pretty good. Definitely attack with a token. I think they could have a reasonable bit of removal that would at least take out the dinosaur token. Something that deals 3 damage. Shrapnel Blast, maybe taking out Regisaur. But if I get a Castle Garenbrig, sticking Vaultborn Tyrant and drawing a bunch of cards, that also would be quite nice as well. But also keep in mind Palani's Hatcher. There are two things that Palani's makes, which makes 3 green. A bunch of tokens, stuff from myself that could just mean I make a bunch of mana that I can use towards Vaultborn Tyrant. Maybe for 2 turns in a row I play Palani's Hatcher. Palani's Hatcher, I got a bunch of tokens, plus the opponent has a bunch of stuff that's destroyed, and then all of a sudden I'm making 7 or 8 mana with Culling, and yeah, we'll see. Are they wondering about sending Shrapnel Blast right to my face, or just taking out Regisaur Alpha? Okay, I think they got something up their sleeve. Don't know why Emery would attack. Maybe they have another Emery in their hand. Oh my goodness. Shrapnel Blast. Whoever would have predicted that? Oh my. Yeah, Castle Garenbrig would be nice. Or Carnage Tyrant. Something. Oh! Another Regisaur Alpha is not the worst thing in the world. Question is, do I want to keep up the aggression? 6. Let's do it. We could easily be dead to Shrapnel Blasts, and I think there's a reasonable chance that I could save myself this turn with Regisaur Alpha. Maybe. Okay, not too bad. I think they'll attack with everybody. Perhaps. Or they're a little bit scared. They don't have any artifacts in their graveyard to cast. Oh, that is not fun. Huh. Dun, dun, dun. Well, Nurturing Bristleback will search for the land this turn and play it. Absolutely. Okay, maybe wait. We just wait. Next turn I could play Vaultborn Tyrant. That might start to save us, maybe. No Shrapnel Blast, don't do it. Here goes nothing. Man, Culling Ritual would be so good right about now. Take out the 2 goblins, Voldaren Epicure, Etching of Kumano. So that's 4. Plus my tokens. Ooh, yeah. I'd like it. Possibly if they play some other small creature, I might be able to make 7. And then play, okay, yeah. Shrapnel Blast with the treasures. At least that's what I can see. Play with fire. Oh! Oh, Ramonette Ruins. For exactly lethal, I like it. Healing. Oh, I do appreciate it. Try to be as positive as possible, even during painful moments like that, but just being myself with it definitely helps to avoid burnout and all that stuff. It's easy to continue to do this, even though I want to do it more than just yeah, hanging out with it, something a little bit different, having a good chat, interacting with chat. Absolutely, I think is important. Something different, not just to be different, but something that at least feels natural to me. And perhaps that does mean growth is a little bit slower, has been a little bit slower, but yeah, being myself is absolutely easier to maintain. So it makes sense because of that reason. Yeah. sit back, relax, keep doing what I'm doing, and, well, I wouldn't be doing much if I kept that hand. 1 forest, Sylvan Scrying, I'd be crying, that's for sure. Now the opponent might be crying. It's not exactly perfect, but we got 3. Do I want 2 Culling Rituals? Do I want to be extra deadly? Oh, I've cast 1. The opponent doesn't expect another one coming up. I bet. Let's do it. Let's be extra painful.
Get him a body bag! Yeah!
Don't push it. Don't push it, I'll give you a war you won't believe.
And we got that 4th land, so I don't know. I almost feel bad for the opponents. We're going to go with Ziatora's Proving Ground. I could draw Archdruid's Charm. Ziatora's enters tapped, so I wouldn't have access to 3 green next turn. If I draw Archdruids, it might have been safer just in case I happen to draw it, and we'll see. If I had Archdruid's Charm, I would have grabbed a forest or another Overgrown Tomb, and then I would have been able to cast it there. Alright, let's make a bunch of mana. Ooh, oh yeah. I don't know. What would help? Similar to Culling Ritual, making a bunch of green temporarily, either to cast a Sylvan Scrying, to Archdruid's Charm, excuse me, a creature for 3, like you're saying, Victor, lower the curve, or just have a bunch of smaller things. That sort of thing. Boom. We make 4. Can't use the 4, but now the opponent has nothing. And that's better than it was. Recover. Do it. Ooh, another Inti. Ooh, okay. You know, it is good. Regisaur Alpha. I think they're done for. Okay. Culling Ritual is staying in. It's staying in. Man, I love it. It's gonna save me. Oh boy, there's that dastardly Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Has a lot of text. Maybe I should read it. I didn't look it up, but, well, some of you may have. Spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate abilities of creatures you control. That is pretty interesting stuff. Yeah. I like it. Pretty cool. Absolutely. Of course, if I am splashing for black, Thoughtseize or any sort of hand hate is, you know, top of the list for many people. For good reason. It's hard to beat Thoughtseize for sure. Yeah. Maybe Thoughtseize in the sideboard. Bring it in if I'm facing off against some sort of combo deck. Rip an important piece from their hand. That might help in those situations. Dress. That would be good too. Gonna have to destroy everybody though. They have a creature, they have Agathas, and they have that Tree of Perdition, so I'm getting a little bit worried. Just a bit. But we get another land. We'll get them next turn. Oh, okay. Pretty much. Yep. Vaultborn, dead, done, smoked. I think. Should be okay. Do they? Oh, can they take out Regisaur Alpha? Oh. They got 1 mana. Bounce it before combat. Let's go. Oh, well, they can't. Oh, boy. Oh.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
No, it's good. Yeah. I'm nodding. Robert Redford is nodding. For people that are not aware, that is not Zach Galifianakis. Both actors look pretty similar, but that is a clip from a very old movie. But a nodding in approval of Culling Ritual. Yeah. You got some small stuff. Even if you only take out 3 things, let's say. Again, that 3 mana, 3 green goes to Archdruids or a small creature. You take out everything from the opponent and you still get to cast something afterwards. You swept, you cast, you did 2 things in a turn, and the opponent has potentially nothing left on the battlefield. That's good. It's good. I don't feel bad starting off with Culling Ritual. Well, it might be necessary. If I'm just I'm losing so often in game 1, now I have to beat them the next 2. But if I can beat them game 1 with the Culling Ritual that I have, and then they're feeling bad, they might feel as bad as Roberto did, unfortunately, going AFK after I swept them. And okay, that's a good one. The quest, I have the decks for quests that are colors I don't normally play, but this one at least is red. It's not 750. Actually, we should check the store. We'll go into black stuff. Welcome to the chapter about black things. Black cards, black sweepers, black removal. Oh, it's going to be good. But Psychic Frogs, Horizon Hideaway. How much? 710 Hideaway tickets. Interesting. All right. Everything. We'll open this up just because it is Explorer related. If I open up a deck that is based on Explorer, that's what it shows. Okay. Filtering. And usually I choose not owned just in case there's some cool card that would help, but we'll start off with exile all creatures. I like exile based effects. We get rid of the creatures permanently. If creatures have indestructible, they don't come back. It's just lovely. Against Izzet and Ensoul artifacts, some of their stuff having indestructible, boom, you get around that fact, which is very nice indeed. Exile. We'll go with each. There are a couple sweepers where it's exile each creature with a mana value, a certain mana value. And then sometimes there's just exile all creatures, depending on the rules text. Okay. Oh boy. I've looked over pretty much everything at this point. At the end, well, it was used against me. Is there something that I would like to exile? For the 2 black. The 2 black is pretty rough. I think for the most part I'll stay away from anything that requires that. Keep it to just 1 source of black. It's comfortable enough. Getting 2 is perhaps a little bit too hard of a hoop to jump through. Just like the sources of red, needing 2 red for particular sweepers. Not so fun. Deadly Cover-Up, well, that has been pretty deadly, used against me. Oftentimes, Dimir Control, I've seen it done. Yeah. If they collect evidence, exiling a card from an opponent's graveyard, they may search my graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That's not fun. It's been painful losing Tyrranax Rex and then the opponent exiles all of the Tyrranax Rexes. Kind of similar to the end. It's like Deadly Cover-Up is the end, but this gets rid of everything. This is Destroy effects, which, is quite nice. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers to face Destroy effects for Vaultborn Tyrant here. If it regularly dies, I get the copy, I get another trigger when that copy enters, but if it's exile based, it goes away permanently, and I lose out on that value. Yeah, okay. Sweepers, yeah. Nothing too much. Extinction Event, I was using that for a little bit against Mono Green Devotion, which is quite painful, but not super common. For the most part, it is a lot of decks that focus on black. The Insidious Roots, the Rakdos Vampires, Mono black mid-range. So, yeah, for the most part, it's mono green. A lot of their creatures are an odd mana value, 1, 3, and 5, usually. So it can be quite devastating. But if the mono green devotion opponent is popping off, we could be dead that turn. We don't have a chance for it to come back around to us. They get the Ulvenwald Oddity and they transform it in the same turn, transformed into the Ulvenwald Horror. I believe it gives everybody +1/+1, trample, haste, and mono green devotion has barfed so many creatures by that point, you're just dead. That's happened quite a while, too long, too many times. Yeah, it's not fun, but if they don't, it could almost be a one-sided sweeper if we choose odd. Don't have too many early creatures. Similar to Culling Ritual. Both are pretty much easy to cast. It's pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to have a source of green, so that doesn't even factor in. Extinction event needing 3 of any color plus a black. Maybe we'll see. But it doesn't take out anything. I have Culling Ritual in for the widest range of decks, which is aggressive stuff, cheap stuff. The decks where Extinction event would help me against, I don't really face them much at all, and they're not super scary. If it's a mid-range deck, that deck is going a little bit slower, and that's fine by me, because that could mean death to the opponent if they're not super fast. So, stay away from that. We're focusing on the small stuff. Speaking of a sweeper needing red, this has been used before in the past when Rakdos Sacrifice was quite popular. You destroy each non-land permanent with a mana value 1 or less. So this would take out the cats. They would do their, well, they would try to protect the cat. They'd kind of do their cycle. Sacrifice the cat, sacrifice the food to bring it back at the oven. Everything gets destroyed though, the small stuff. But it's like, I don't really care too much about the exile graveyard part. Of course, Insidious Roots, they have a lot of stuff in the graveyard. But that doesn't really matter if Culling Ritual is already doing the thing. Decimating them, sweeping everything. This kind of is like the worst Culling Ritual. At least for me. If I don't care about the exile graveyard part, and I don't care about having Vessel of the All-Consuming, it takes a couple turns to get there. And chances are by that point, I'm ready to cast big stuff. And maybe if it had Trample and Haste, then I could be extra aggressive. But yeah, we'll trim that. Needing red, not so fun. There's almost no red in here. That would be also quite a big change. I'd probably have to add a bunch more Ziatora's Proving Grounds, I would imagine, just to more comfortably get that source of red for Hidetsugu consumes all. Yeah. If more graveyard type decks pop up, maybe I'll consider it. Stuff that only needs 1 black. Speaking of, I have actually considered this thing a little bit. Nemata. I'll say Nemata. I'm pretty sure that's not how it is, but that's how my mind is gonna go with it. Nemata. Primeval Warden. 3/4 reach. Nice to have reach. I do lose to flying creatures. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Gets around death triggers from opponents, and less creatures die for the Vein Ripper. My stuff dying would still trigger it, but at least whenever they sacrifice their own creatures, it wouldn't happen. The creature is exiled. It gets around death triggers, which the Vein Ripper is a death trigger. Weakens that a bit. But when we do, we make our own 1/1 green Sapperling. chump blocker. That's pretty good. Pay green to sacrifice a Saproling. Gets +2/+2. Sprinkling it in, maybe having a couple things, couple legendary creatures or permanents that do this ability. Whenever a creature dies, you exile it. In case there is some decks that care about creatures dying, death triggers, that sort of thing. Insidious Roots, they sacrifice a lot of creatures and they bring them back. The skeleton one that was used. 1 black, if a crime has been committed, they can cast it from the graveyard. It's not in the graveyard. It's gone forever with this. And a couple other cards, so something to keep in mind. Decent body, make some chump blockers, not the worst thing in the world. I think, well, Karns, perhaps. If this happens on turn 3, boom, we have the sweeper ready on turn 4. And when do we cast Culling Ritual? We cast Culling Ritual on turn 4. So in that sense, Karn Silex, Culling Ritual, they line up quite similarly. Could I just use Karn Silex instead of Culling Ritual? Perhaps. Do I like the green? How often am I making use of the green that's made with Culling Ritual? Sometimes I'm not. Definitely, I think more often than not, the green that's made just goes away. So if Karns and Culling are both activated at the same time, I hope to mulligan and get to Culling Ritual. Toxic Deluge, Alberto. I do believe Toxic Deluge is only Modern Horizons 3. This is Explorer/Pioneer. The list that I'm using tonight is completely legal and available everywhere. I would take this same list. That's what I'm getting at. If I went to my local game store or I played on Magic the Gathering online, but yes, Toxic Deluge, or maybe it, no, that Modern Horizons 3, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. When I play Timeless or Historic, and I do have one specific card that will dip me back into one of those formats, Desert. But I don't want to get on too much of a tangent, but I do like Toxic Deluge though, Alberto. Absolutely. Lovely potential. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Karn Silex more. Yeah, maybe I just start out with it. But if I'm desperately waiting for a sweeper and I top deck Culling Ritual, I can use it. If I top deck Karn Silex, I can't use it. So in those scenarios, it would be better. My back might be against the wall. If I don't sweep the turn that I draw my sweeper, I might be dead next turn. This, I can sweep that turn. Karn Silex, I can't. So that might be a no-no. But exile all. Okay. Shadow's Verdict. Oh man. So deadly. Maybe if I was gonna go heavier into black, cards requiring 2, Shadow's Verdict would, it would do the trick. Exiling all creatures and planeswalkers with a mana value 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creatures and planeswalker cards with mana value 3 or less from graveyards. That just, if Culling Ritual took out stuff, Shadow's Verdict just wrecks it. Although Culling Ritual does take out artifacts and enchantments and all that stuff. So Culling Ritual, I think, certainly edges it out. This costs 1 more mana. But if you're worried about stuff coming back, this might be the option to choose. Ramp a little bit, Shadow's Verdict, and pretty much you may never have to care about any small decks ever again, because they're never coming back ever again. I like it. Exile, good. Thought Distortion, well, it isn't a sweeper, but I did win against a control deck. Lotus Field, I believe, many months ago. Can be countered. Target opponent reveals their hand, exiling all non-creature, non-land cards from that player's hand and graveyard. So it's kind of like Shadow's Verdict, exiling stuff from graveyards, just creatures and planeswalkers. This is like, well, I guess it's kind of like the Shadow's Verdict for stuff that isn't creatures and planeswalkers. Yeah, pretty much. If you're facing off against a control deck, chances are they have their stuff in their hand, not on the battlefield. Shadow's Verdict, taking out stuff on the battlefield. Yeah, it has been nice. Pretty nice. Legion's End, also, pretty interesting. If we want to gain information from the opponent, exiling target creature and opponent controls with mana value 2 or less, and all other creatures that player controls with the same name. If we face off against an aggressive deck, is there a pretty good chance that they're going to have 2 creatures that are the same? Probably not too much. You can probably forget about that. Mostly it's just boom, you exile a creature, you saw what's in their hand, maybe exiling a copy in their hand, and exiling those cards in the graveyard. I could see it being, pretty nice. I do wish it would exile a creature with a mana value 3 or less, but, well, it's not nothing. You do gain information, really, from the opponent, revealing the hand, which is always, usually, pretty nice thing. But we're looking for, here it is. Okay, good, my head's not over it. Sphere of Annihilation. Maybe, I've used it in the past. I've done a couple streams with it, probably like 2 years ago, actually. Then probably 1 year ago. Seems like I revisit stuff every so often, but Sphere of Annihilation, X and a black. When it enters the battle, it enters with X void counters on it. So I could pay 1 for X. I could cast this on turn 2, and it would pop on turn 3 when it comes back around, which at the beginning of your upkeep, you exile it and all creatures and all planeswalkers with mana value less than or equal to the number of void counters. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And the graveyards and stuff, so similar to Shadow's Verdict. I could cast this on turn 3, and my sweeper thing would happen on turn 4. Again, also at a similar time to Culling Ritual, but the versatility, if they have a bunch of stuff that costs 1, still Culling Ritual, but this is pretty nice. The aggressive decks that I don't like, a lot of stuff does start at 1. They have some creatures at 2, but sometimes they swarm the battlefield for sure. Well, not exactly, just, I want to showcase for some of you guys some of the options in black with sweepers, exile-based removal, other stuff you might consider. If you are in mono black, these things only require that, so yeah. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to trim 1 copy of Culling. Or Path of Peril. Path of Peril costing 1 and 2 black, or you can cleave it. Let's go to Path of Peril. But Path of Peril requiring 2 black, we'll see. Or 3 black, I think. 6 in total to sweep everything, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, wow. 6 in total. Now I do need that source of white to destroy all creatures. Well, perhaps. How often am I going to get to 6 mana? How often am I going to have that source of white, unfortunately? 3 mana, 2 of it black to destroy all creatures 2 or less. Hard to say. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely if that creature has indestructible Victor. Interesting. We're doing good tonight, Cut. Hopefully all is well with you, and again, everybody, maybe you're passed out, you're watching this later on, and yeah, Path of Peril would be nice. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not opposed to leaning further into cards that required 2 black, 2 blue, 2 red, whatever it takes to make the opponent dead. I might just do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's pretty much straightforward. Having Dinosaurs with the mana value of 3, like I was mentioning, you stick an early dino, and then when you sweep, you're still left with that creature if you want to do that, or you have a creature with 2, which is a creature for 2, which might deter aggression, but when you use Culling Ritual, you take out some of your own stuff, but you get that temporary mana, and that could make all the difference. An aggressive opponent who has played a bunch of tokens, artifacts, you get the idea. Maybe when you go Culling Ritual, you're only going to make 6, but you have a couple things of your own, and then all of a sudden you go to 7, you go to 8, and you might be able to cast Ghalta because you have a bunch of small stuff. Yeah. Speaking of small stuff, early dinos, I want to highlight this potential. Got you. Okay, there we go. One day I will try it again. I've done it a couple times over the years, but Cherished Hatchling. Good. It is a tongue twister. I usually butcher that for the first few times, but when it dies, like when I destroy everything with Culling Ritual, I make a green, but I also gain the ability of you may cast dinosaur spells this turn as though they had flash, and whenever you cast a dinosaur spell, it gains. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may have it fight another target creature. So if Ghalta is the only thing I cast, it is the only thing that can make use of this ability. All the creatures that are put onto the battlefield, sadly, don't get to fight a bunch of stuff. It's only the stuff you don't cheat out. But it's still an idea. You want Cherished Hatchling to die, and well, Culling Ritual naturally would do that and make an extra green. It's not the craziest thing in the world. It's pretty crazy, but it's not nothing. It's going with the lower converted mana cost avenue. Yeah. One more match, though. Lots to think about. If I can splash for 1 black, I can make 2 work. I could dip my toe into blue for counter spells and any number of things. It'll work. But seeing the 1 blue, the 1 red, the 1 black, not a problem. Maybe I should go back to Rainbow Dinos and some of the Apex Predators. The Apex Dinosaurs from Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths, for people that remember that set. Wacky combinations of creatures, cat, nightmare, beast, cat, dinosaur. Pretty cool though. I certainly liked it because we got more dinosaurs from that set. Raven, 1841. I bet it's going to be an opponent on black types. Oh, Thoughtseize. I knew it. Oh, nuts. Darn. Well, they're getting rid of Sylvan Scrying 100%. It's a pretty reasonable hand, but we could recover depending what we draw. And, hey, we know what it is. We know what sort of hand to... Okay, we got the nightly Rakdos Vampires. Oh, that's pretty good. We got Overgrown Tomb. We're not done for yet. I think it is cut. I think Culling Ritual is. Yeah. Culling Ritual, making the multiple greens, getting potentially that Archdruid's... Oh my goodness. I don't know. That's just... If they don't kill me soon, they are dead. Okay, but let's hold on. Well... They will kill me next turn, sadly. Is there anything I can do? There isn't. So close. Archdruids would have searched and grabbed for Castle Garenbrig. We would have been able to play Ghalta, at the very least putting 2 Carnage Tyrants onto the battlefield, but, well, they got lethal coming up. I think. Yeah, Soren puts a counter on it. They're going to have exactly lethal. Ugh. Good recovery, though. Gotta say. Stomp or something like that. Sacrifice. That's what happens. Eh. Close-ish. Do I like Culling Ritual? That destroys things. This is Rakdos Vampires, so they have the Vein Ripper. It might come to I don't want to destroy many things. Do I like Leyline of Sanctity instead? I kind of do. No Thoughtseize. Even though things really shaped up quite nicely, Leyline is probably going to be safer. I could be completely locked out of casting Culling Ritual. If they have the Vein Ripper out, I destroy too many creatures and all of a sudden I'm losing a bunch of life, and well, I don't like that. And okay, I kept a land with one hand because I felt good. We're not doing that again. I'm going to take it. Cross your fingers, cross your claws, and hope it's not turn 1 or turn 2 Thoughtseize. I can risk it. I can risk it. But yeah, turn 1. We're on the play, so we have a chance to... Oh, phew. Oh. If you have a thing that can become a land, you make it a land as fast as humanly possible, because now, if they go Thoughtseize, they can't stop me. They can't get rid of what Sylvan Scrying has become. Oh, well, fine. Just give me a Sunken Citadel. Why don't you? Either I would have drawn Sunken Citadel and played it and not been able to do anything, or I get Sylvan to grab Sunken and play it. Both things are... Oh, okay, we're dead. That's just... That's how she goes. We're not dead. If I get Ghalta Stampede Tyrant next turn? No? That might work. Archdruid's Charm is going to grab Sunken Citadel. But we have a small chance to gain a bunch of life, Vaultborn Tyrants and whatnot. We might not be dead. Perhaps. We're not dead yet. We have a slight out. 2 Vaultborn Tyrants, it would be a boatload of life, that's for sure. Ghalta, you can do it. Okay, not too bad. Ghalta, cross your fingers. Chant with me. I can only make 7. I got the Cavern of Souls and... Yeah. Let's go. Ghalta. 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 Well, that's not Ghalta, and that is it. I still had fun. Yeah. Right, what time is it? 1, 2. I think that's a good place to leave it. Oh, 11:10 my time. Yeah, I had a good time. Okay. All right, we'll leave it there for now. Everybody get your last chats in, and luck, no luck, whatever it is, I'm gonna keep playing. I think unfortunate I guess is... It feels like a better word for me. Feels more right. But of course there is always a large element of luck to this game, and you can only plan so much. Figure out how to make your deck the most consistent it can possibly be. But yes, have a nice night. Cut, Victor, Alberto, Solar Updraft, JDX. Anybody I miss? Hypercord. Have a good work day tomorrow. Whatever it is, wherever it is, whenever it is, and yeah, peace. Okay, I'm gonna get the explosion right this time. I'm gonna get it.